Thank you. So I'm here today to give you an overview of our child safety program. This is basically a top-level induction to give you some key information so you can help us keep our children safe. Firstly, you need to know that we do have a program. If you know about child protection programs in places like schools, most of what we do here will be pretty familiar to you. To keep our children safe, we need your help. We may ask you to do or not do stuff that may seem a bit odd at first until you understand the context in which we're in. Okay. Now, we really want to stop child abuse happening in the first place. But if you suspect that something is wrong, please do something about it. I'll give you an outline of how to best raise any concerns that you may have. Right. Okay. The Servants of Jesus community have a set of principles that we follow to ensure we protect the safety of children. Firstly, we have a zero tolerance for child abuse. Abuse means physical, sexual, psychological abuse or neglect. We're committed to the protection of children and young people from all forms of abuse. We have systems in place to protect our children. Our systems are compliant with legislation. They incorporate the recently implemented child safe standards and the learnings from the Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse. We take all allegations of abuse seriously. Any allegation made to or about any of our staff or volunteers will be assessed and managed in accordance with our procedures. All Servants of Jesus workers are mandatory reporters. This means that if one of our workers becomes aware of abuse or the potential for abuse, we are required by law to report it to authorities. Now, in addition to these basic commitments, the Servants of Jesus are also committed to providing a safe environment for children of diverse backgrounds and for children with a disability. We will actively listen to and empower children consistent with their stage of development. We will also uphold the rights of the child under the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child. Okay. Our Child Safe program impacts much of what we do as a community. To give you an idea, here's some of the things that we have. We have processes to evaluate the suitability of our workers. We conduct working with children checks for all workers that are engaged in child-related work. Child-related work includes any ministry that works with children or young people under the age of 18. For example, U-Turn, Kids, youth ministries, various conference teams and like forth. In addition to this, all employees of the Servants of Jesus must have a current working with children check, irrespective of the position that they hold. In addition to the working with children's checks, all workers are screened by Servants of Jesus pastoral staff, and we are now in the process of reference checking them all also. For your information, our working with children check process was audited in mid-2021 by the Office of the Children's Guardian. So in addition to them not finding any breaches, they complimented us on how the system was implemented in our organisation. We have procedures that describe what practices are acceptable and unacceptable within child-related ministries. For example, our procedures describe how to engage with parents that attend activities with their children. They describe how to manage children that need to go to the toilet, the people who don't have a reason to be in an area where child activities are being held should be asked to leave. We train and retrain our workers. All of our child-related workers must attend an annual child protection induction session. Our ministry leads are mentored by the senior Servants of Jesus leaders, and the people responsible for the child safe systems complete external training from the Office of the Children's Guardian. So Paula and I did one of those on Thursday, I think it was. We have procedures in place to assess risk and to report child abuse matters to the appropriate agency as soon as practicable. If a child is at immediate risk or there are allegations of a criminal offence, we'll report the matter to the police. If we suspect a child is at risk of significant harm, but it's not immediate, we'll report that to the Child Safety Hotline. My computer's just gone down at the wrong time. Okay. We monitor our physical environment to ensure it remains safe. We're fortunate that we have a building that has lots of glass dividing partitions. This means that there are few blind spots in the building. Our recent upstairs renovation removed 2 enclosed rooms, helping us to remove some of the remaining blind spots. We have a governance program that monitors our Child Safe program. For example, the results of the Working with Children audit mentioned previously were reviewed at Servants of Jesus board level. Additionally, we have a senior leader that conducts regular surveillance checks of our Working with Children system. Okay. Now, we need your help. We usually have children's activities upstairs during the gathering. All the workers involved in our children's activities have been screened and are familiar with Servants of Jesus child safety requirements. We cannot give the same assurances for people who are not involved in these ministries. So if you don't need to be upstairs, please take the opportunity to be filled with the Holy Spirit and stay in the main hall. Is that good? There are some exceptions. Look, if you do have a younger child that needs you to be present during the children's activities, that's fine. Please be with them. We ask that you sit back as much as possible and minimise interaction with the other children. Please speak to the leader if you're unsure of what you can or cannot do. Now, we're currently using the Gordon Gibbs room as an overflow area. If you're in this area, please don't go into the areas where the children's ministries are being held. There's also rooms upstairs for breastfeeding mums. You're fine to use these rooms if you need to. Yes, only if you're breastfeeding. Okay. During children's activities, the upstairs toilets are for use by children only. If you're an adult, please use the downstairs toilets or the community care toilets, even if you are in the overflow area upstairs. The toilets are signposted when they're being used for children's activities. Can you please not film or take any photographs of any children, or adults for that matter, unless you have been given explicit authorisation from the servants' leadership. Many people have given us an okay to film them, but some haven't, and there's very good reasons for that. Our authorised photographers are aware of who can and can't be filmed and what can happen with the images. It's not okay to take photos just for myself. If you believe that a child is about to be seriously harmed, call the police. You do not need to ask the permission of anyone at Servants to do this. We would appreciate, however, if you'd let us know about the issue as soon as you are able to. If you believe that abuse may be occurring, but it's not imminent, you can talk to Paula or I. We will guide you through a decision-making process to determine if authorities need to be notified and the pace. For example, if a child tells you that an uncle hits and bruises them when under his care, it's likely that that will need to be notified to the authorities. You also have the option of calling the Child Protection Helpline on 132 111 directly if you so choose. Red flags. If you observe a behaviour that is concerning, but you don't believe that any child has been harmed, we ask you to complete a red flag report. For example, if you believe a relationship between a ministry worker and a child is not appropriate, or if you've seen an adult leaving the toilets when they're signposted for use by children only, you can raise a red flag report. These reports are reviewed to look for patterns of behaviour. If several reports are received for an individual, we will investigate it at that stage. Complaint forms. If you have any concern about an employee or a volunteer of Servants, you may submit a complaint. The complaint may or may not be child safety related. Red flag and complaint forms are located in the photocopying room upstairs. If you place a completed form in a sealed envelope and get it to me, I'll get it to the right senior leader. All right. Okay. If If you have any concerns about the safety of a particular child or the behaviour of an adult, the best person to speak to is Paula. Where's Paula? If you have questions relating to our child safe systems or processes, then please talk to me. However, you can speak to either of us on any of the matters. Ministry leaders will be able to respond to questions as they relate to their own ministries. Thank you very much.